Good morning. Welcome to your Thursday morning, early morning intuitive guidance. Had to think there for a minute what day we are on. Oh, and I see I have my wheelie cart in our view again. Oh well, you get to enjoy my moving vicariously. I'm Dr. Bonnie Nussbaum, America's kick-ass coach and psychologist. Here was something to get us to chew on for the day. I read this part last night. Good morning, Joe. Welcome, welcome. I read this part last night in this book, and I want to share it with you because I think it not only gives us each something to chew on in terms of how does this fit for us. Good morning, Pat. Welcome, welcome. Looks like someone else is here too. I'm glad you are here. So we're going to go within and look at our own stuff around this idea, but we can also then observe it in the world. And when we can see it, then we can do something with it. Because if we're not conscious of it, it's really hard to address it. And what was cool about this, I'm piling my legs up here because my feet don't hit the ground. The joys of shrinking with age. This is something I've felt, could never really put my finger on, would consider it a reaction to a particular individual, and that's not it at all. So I really am excited about sharing this with you. So this is from Untamed by Glennon Doyle. And if you've ever read any of her stuff, she cuts no corners, she holds back nothing, she puts it all out there in terms of the ugly truth, as she would say. So what I want to do is I want to read a couple of pages, and I want you to notice how this chimes for you. Open up your mind and allow yourself to remember times like this and see if her explanation for this applies to those times. Because I went, ooh, yep, that's it. Which means there's some things for me to do, right? So, this is on page 284 if any of you have the book. I've also learned that while choosing joy makes it easier for me to love myself and my life, it seems to make it harder for the world to love me. I was speaking at an event recently, and a woman stood up in the audience, looked at me on stage, and said into the microphone, "Glennon, I used to love your writing so much. When you talked about your pain and how hard life was, I felt so comforted. But lately with your new life, you seem different. I have to be honest, I'm finding you harder and harder to relate to." "Yes," I said, "I understand. I'm happier now. I'm not doubting myself as much, and that is making me confident and stronger, so I'm suffering less. I've noticed that it seems easier for the world to love a suffering woman than it is for the world to love a joyful, confident woman. It's hard for me too." So now she's describing one of her own experiences with this phenomenon. "I was at one of Tish's soccer games," Tish's her daughter, "and there was a girl on the other team who was just rubbing me the wrong way. I could tell by the sideline body language and eye rolling that she was also rubbing several of my fellow soccer moms the wrong way also. I watched her carefully, trying to figure out why this girl was activating us. I noticed that she walked with her head held high and with a bit of a swagger. She was good and she knew it. She went in for the ball often and hard, like a girl who knows her own strength and talent. She smiled the whole time, like all of it was easy for her, like she was having the time of her life. And this just annoyed the hell out of me." She was 12. "I sat with my feelings and I realized the knee-jerk reaction I'm having to this girl is a direct result of my training. I have been conditioned to mistrust and dislike strong, confident, happy girls and women. We all have. Studies prove that the more powerful, successful, and happy a man becomes, the more people trust and like him. But the more powerful and happy a woman becomes, the less people trust and like her." So think about that in terms of, several people pop into mind. Kamala Harris, our new Supreme Court Justice, I think some of this shit was operating there. "So we proclaim women are entitled to their rightful place. And then when a woman does take her rightful place, our first reaction is, she's so entitled. We become people who say of confident women, I don't know, I can't explain it. It's just something about her. I just don't like her. I can't put my finger on why. Glennon says, I can put my finger on why. It's because our training is kicking in through our subconscious. And again, that's why I'm so excited to write my book about summoning the subconscious. We need to know what's in there so we can deal with it and get rid of the crap that's like this. Strong, happy, confident girls and women are breaking our culture's implicit rule that girls should be self-doubting, reserved, timid, and apologetic. And suffering. I'm going to add in suffering. Girls who are bold enough to break those rules irk us. Their brazen defiance and refusal to follow directions make us want to put them back into their cage. Girls and women sense this. We want to be liked. We want to be trusted. So we downplay our strengths to avoid threatening anyone and invoking disdain. We do not mention our accomplishments. We do not accept compliments. We temper, qualify, discount. How many women do you know who start almost everything they say with, I'm sorry, but? What are you sorry about? What are you sorry about? We walk without swagger and we yield incessantly. I loved hearing someone say recently that her sister made the decision that when she was walking, she was no longer stepping to the side for men. And on going through one particular airport, 35 times she bumped into men because they expected her to step to the side. We step out of the way. We say, I feel like, instead of, I know. We ask if our ideas make sense instead of assuming that they do. We apologize for everything. Conversations among brilliant women often devolve into competition for who wins the trophy for hottest mess. How sad is that? We want to be respected, but we want to be loved and accepted even more. And here was one of her learning moments. I once sat with Oprah Winfrey at her kitchen table, and she asked me what I was most proud of in my life as an activist, writer, and mother. I panicked and started mumbling something like, oh, I don't feel proud. I feel grateful. None of it's really me. I'm surrounded by great people. I'm just incredibly lucky. And she put her hand on mine and said, don't do that. Don't be modest. Dr. Maya Angelou used to say, modesty is a learned affectation. You don't want modesty. You want humility. Humility comes from the inside out. I think of what she said to me every day. She was saying, playing dumb, weak, and silly is a disservice to yourself and to me and to the world. Every time you pretend to be less than you are, you steal permission from other women to exist fully. Holy crap. I'm going to read that one again because that's powerful. Every time you pretend to be less than you are, you steal permission from other women to exist fully. And really, women, you don't need anybody's permission to exist fully. Step into the fullness of who you are. Don't mistake modesty for humility. Modesty is a giggly lie, an act, a mask, a fake game. We have no time for it. The word humility derives from the Latin word humilitas, which means of the earth. Isn't that a beautiful word? Of the earth. To be humble is to be grounded in knowing who you are. It implies the responsibility to become what you were meant to become, to grow, to reach, to fully bloom as high and strong and grand as you were created to. It is not honorable for a tree to wilt and shrink and disappear. It's not honorable for a woman to either. I've never pretended to be stronger than I am, so I'm sure as hell not going to pretend to be weaker than I am. I'm also going to quit requiring modesty of other women. I don't want to find comfort in the weakness and pain of other women. I want to find inspiration in the joy and success of other women. Because that makes me happier, and because if we keep disliking and tearing down strong women, instead of loving them, supporting them, and voting for them, We won't have any strong women left. Good morning, CJ. Welcome. When I see a joyful, confident woman moving through the world with swagger, I'm going to forgive myself for my first reaction because it's not my fault. It's my conditioning. First reaction, who the hell does she think she is? Second reaction, she knows she's a goddamn cheetah. Hella fucking Luya. So, I thought that was pretty powerful. When you live it every day, when you're steeped in it, you don't really appreciate the limitation that it's creating. It's like the fish being in the water. The fish doesn't realize it's in the water. It's just at one with the water. We have been at one with these lies about women, these lies about black, brown, other colored people. We've bought into the lies about my faith is the right one and yours, all the rest of you people, yours is wrong. We've bought into those lies. We've been steeped in them. We've been swimming in this soup for a long time. Time to change the ingredients in the soup. Okay? So we need to, it's okay. Good morning, Mila. Glad you are here. It is okay that our initial knee-jerk reaction is, I don't like her. But then I want you to look at, why is it I don't like her? Is it because she's strong and empowered and doesn't shrink to fit in and not make people uncomfortable? Is it that she speaks her truth, which stirs the pot? And damn, that pot needs stirring, doesn't it? We need to begin to be able to skim the fat off the top of this pot of soup we're all swimming in, right? Is everybody going to be happy with those of us who say, we've got fatty soup, we need to skim the top here? No, there's going to be those people, well, I liked it the way it was, let's keep it that way, blah, blah, blah. But the time for change is here. The time for change is actually well past. We can pick this up and run with it. So step into your power. I love the word empowerment. Obviously, I love the word empowerment, or I wouldn't have named my business Empowerment Coaching. We need to step more fully into our strength. And we need to, in the words of Bobby Silverstone, at the center of life's storms, I stand serene. We need to stand in our power when those around us start questioning, are uncomfortable with, apply that subconscious pressure to get us to go back into the box. I'm done being in a box. I hope you are done being in a box. In fact, when I die, I'm not going to be in a box either. I'm hoping someone trips and sprinkles me all over the place. Bury me somewhere. I don't care. Don't waste time on a box. Don't waste time and money on a box. I don't want to be in a box. So, I hope this reading was powerful for you. I hope it made you uncomfortable. I hope it got you thinking about some things. Where is it that you shrink instead of standing in your power? Where is it that you defer? Where is it that you say, I'm sorry, but, or as soon as someone puts up any kind of resistance to your brilliant idea, you let it go. You abandon it. Do not abandon your brilliant ideas. There are always going to be those people who are the naysayers. What are you thinking? You're nuts. Me building an intentional community. I've had some people do that. You're nuts. How are you going to fund that? Where's that money going to come from? Blah, blah, blah. And as I said yesterday, pieces of the puzzle are beginning to come together. I don't have to know how. I don't have to know how. I just need to know why this is important. My why is because there's too many people in America who fall through the cracks as they get older and they don't have family support. Kids live way far away from them. They don't want to be a burden, so they don't tell their family when things aren't going well, yada, yada. I want people to be able to remain vibrant and engaged and part of a community until they drop dead, okay? So that's my mission. Other people are like, oh, I ain't interested in that. You don't have to be. You do not have to be. There's something that you are interested in. There's something that will light you up like a Christmas tree. There's something where you can, kind of like I'm doing right now, blather on for however long about it because you're so passionate about it. That's where you put your effort. That's where you put your effort, okay? And again, please do not wait until you get breast cancer, until you have a crisis in your life, until someone else makes decisions for you to step forward into your power, into your authority, into your passion, into what you are here to do. What are you pretending not to know? All right? So I would love to hear what are some baby steps you're going to take forward on these words that I shared with you today. Very powerful words. I'd love to have a bunch of you. Maybe we'll do this book for book club next time. This is powerful shit, people. And I love that she can put into words the things that we feel and think but can't quite articulate, partly because of those subconscious barriers. Women don't speak up about this. They do now. So, have an awesome day. I will see you again tomorrow. Remember, you are capable of far more than you think you are, including engaging with what we've talked about today, even though it makes you uncomfortable. Bye-bye.